God brought Josh into my life my freshman year of college. Josh had just traveled out to Seattle for a second bone marrow transplant to try to put his Hodgkin's lymphoma back into remission. What God started as a friendship, He guided into a partnership under His grace. Josh and I's relationship went profound really fast. God led us into a love that we plan to keep and nourish and embrace for our future together. March 2008, the pathology report came back with cancer in almost every part of Josh's body. We took the report paper, I still have it in my nightstand drawer, and we didn't read it. We weren't consumed by a pathology report. Josh and I lived each day fully with the intent to love each other and to serve God, and we were truly blessed. May 8, 2008, God called us to the mountain of sacrifice. I went to my fiance's home to pick him up, and I didn't know that I wouldn't be bringing him home. Saying our last words may not have been as great of pain as trying to fall asleep the first night without him or waking up the first morning without him. The first morning without Josh started a painful path of anguish and misery. All that fire and intimacy that I had with my Creator, it started a slow waning process. I was on my road away from Christ, which was even scarier than my partner leaving me on May 8th. The first couple of years, I grieved Josh in surface ways. I was trying to micromanage everything in my life because if I could micromanage everything and have everything in order my way, a disappointment couldn't catch me off guard and I couldn't get hurt again. This micromanaging led me into serious anxiety, and shortly after, I landed in a deep depression in 2010, 2 years after Josh had left. The depression and anxiety was so great, not feeling emotionally safe to go into public places was my life. I wasn't even comfortable in family settings or with my friends. I felt so alienated in the grief. The anxiety attacks became so real. My journal entries reflect them with words such as, "Last night's panic attack was so bad I wanted to stop breathing." The pain manifested itself so physically and so fast. I didn't recognize myself. It felt like I was operating in a foreign body. I wanted my heart back. I wanted my mind back. I wanted my soul back. And I just couldn't grab onto it. I couldn't grab onto Christ because I was regretting the loss of Josh. I wanted him back. I fought for him to come back to me for 3 years. I clenched onto him so tight with every bit of me, thinking that if I just clenched hard enough, I would get it back. Then the pierced hand of Jesus met me at a crossroad. An entry from January of this year states, "Dear Josh, I'm living miserably down here. What has happened? How could I ever let something come over me like this? Where did I turn and let the demons take over? If I'm ever going to fully live for Christ again, I have to let go of you and let God lead. I need to say goodbye, not to you, but to what was. I don't regret the path I took in grieving my fiance's passing. I don't regret the depression experience or the wounds that were so deep that it left me laying on the bathroom floor. I believe nothing in a follower's life goes untouched by Jesus. It was on the floor that Christ met me. I see that God allowed me to go through the darkest valley imaginable in order to glorify Him. I believe God's leading me into a ministry with this, something that I can't even imagine right now. I don't know where it's going, but God's going to use it for His glory. But I humbly believe that this is God's plan for me and that I'm living out God's plan. 1 month to live has refocused my mind on glorifying Christ publicly. If I was given 1 month to live, I would have to spend every hour sharing the good news. challenging people to accept whatever place they're in right now and send it to Him. Your place could be extremely devastating. It could be extremely toxic, lonely, but whatever it is, give it to Christ. Honor God's ability to be bigger than your problems. Don't regret the difficulties. They challenge our energy, they challenge our perseverance, but they bring about the strongest qualities of life to the soul.